You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the ropes. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome to Ascending Beyond Limitations. We are all in a ascending platform. We may be expressing it differently, but we're all there. We're all expressing an infinite part of the divine in form. So I found this for you. I wrote this a while when I was doing a work, sitting in on a workshop. And it says, take what resonates, first of all. If you want to add you as the I and I, as part of this affirmation, let it be so. I came forth on this leading edge to experience life and enjoy my journey. I know that I am enjoying the experience by my feelings. It's a vibrational frequency. I was source, or what might be called God light, before I came into this beautiful, wonderful body, or as you may call, avatar. I was pure positive energy and unconditional entity that knew that I would shift, that I would sift and sort through life, that I would create and expand beyond my knowing. I know that as I dislike things, I would actually decide what I did like, and I might possibly choose that. I knew that I would stand on the leading edge of creation and consciously and curiously create. I knew that I would have fun creating and exploring my path and my journey, allowing the divine to seek itself through me. I just knew. I knew that I would focus on any given situation, and I would do it with unconditional curiosity. I just knew. When your higher being is awakening to itself as layers of sleep is being lifted. This is what it most probably says in recalling to you. Maybe not in that exact way. Those are the words from my soul to me. And my soul dug it up, man. It said, here's what you're going to start with. This is what knowing thyself is all about. Knowing where you came from, why possibly you're here, and that you are the expression of the divine with the ability to opt out of any situation that is not for your highest and greatest good, while other people are still expressing. It's not about leaving them behind. It's about playing on the playground. That's what Ra is all about. He's saying, we're all in Earth School. We came to play. Now, we may have turned it into work or the grind, but we came to play in an experience, in an expression. And the divine gave us the polarity of higher polarities and lower polarities. The divine did not say good or bad. Humankind put that label on there. And the divine says that's okay, because that's an expression. The divine says, I'm just having a curious addressing form curiously. So as we deep dive into more of the unknown, know that the unknown is just within you. You are the cosmos in human form. And every variation that you want to be in, whether it's left or right, up or down, in or out, you get to choose that. That's your opt-out button of anything on this playground. Is you get to have free will choice to move through this experience and be who you want to be. And that's why Ra says, I come, and sometimes when I ask questions, I have to ask you to re-ask the question, because I cannot usurp man's or humankind's free will. We honor that. We honor the creation of all that is and all that is not. We honor the law of one. So here we are, ready to know a little bit more about the law of one. Back to you, Marcus.
Just want to say grand day to everybody, and thank you all for being here. Thank you to all of you that are tapped in live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And thank you to all the platforms that have allowed us to be able to have this opportunity to spread this light, spread this knowledge of self, and to be able to be present with everybody around the world. Sandee really said it well. There's not really much more for me to add or subtract from what was already stated. So with that being said, like I said, welcome everybody to episode 16 of Ascending Beyond Limitation, the Raw Material Law of One study. And I really look forward to what we have today. And with that being said,
All right. So here we go. First, I'm going to say, I attune myself to the creative impulses that flow in me and seek to express in, through, and as me, as the divine opens it up for your wisdom and your understanding. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. What grows you, grows you. What is not for you, you'll know it even before you want to dispute it. What What you think you need to dispute, if you have that moment of disputation, don't allow that energy to take over and drown out that resonates with you. It's our job just to share, give you a seed. We can only put that seed in your hand with the information that the divine gives us, shares with us, distributes to us. One size just doesn't fit all, guys. It never will. You grow and you expand in your own infinite time. You see, I didn't say finite time. I said infinite. So with that, I have book 1 in front of me. And not book 1, book 2. Book 2. The Law of One, book 2. The questioner, the divine gave me an asterisk. The questioner made a statement. The statement I will make to begin with is, in this density, we tend to focus our mind on some transient conditions or activities with little regard to its value or use as an aid or a tool for growth and understanding. Whether it's understanding of true and undistorted essence of the creation of which we are an integral part. We tend to do that as human beings. We tend to kind of push it to the side. We don't disregard it. We don't throw it in the trash can, but we kind of push it to the side. And you know how when you're sweeping the floor and you're not ready to throw everything away, you just keep sweeping it and putting it in the dustpan and sitting the dustpan aside. Sometimes that's what we do with information. And then what the questioner is saying, and have you ever noticed that when we want to deal with the Almighty God or the divine or source or whatnot, we bring the divine, the infinite, down to our level. We want to be disgusted with war, so we bring the infinite down to our level, and the divine is disgusted with war. Or disgusted with my lack and envy. Oh, it must be God's fault, right? We do that. Not a right or a wrong, but we do it. It's an infinite expression. The divine says, okay. You want that's where you want to go. Okay, I'm going to feel that, right? So the questioner goes on to say, I will attempt by starting at the beginning of creation. We've talked about this before in book 1. The beginning of what we got to go back to the beginning of creation, because that's the only way this shit makes sense to us. And the way I said it is exactly what we state. I will believe it when I see it, kind of shit. I'll believe an angel. I'll believe you saw an angel when I see an angel. Right? So he says, we're going to start with the overview of ourselves in creation, thereby arriving at a more informed viewpoint of what we consider to be reality. Okay. What we as the humankind. So the first book, Ra kind of explained it. In the second book, we're going to do a review, because the questioner says, and sort I kind of have doubts. So we're going to start with that again. Okay. Questioner is saying to Ra, change my point of view. Ra has already said, I didn't come to change your point of view. I just came to give you information so that you can change your own point of view. Right? The questioner says, it is hoped that this will allow us to participate more effectively in the process of evolution. Now he brings it up a notch. He says, I know we got to participate. You told me that in the first book. Here it is. We're talking about what we want God Almighty to do for us, but we want to ask. We want to hop over the believe, because we don't think we need to work at it. Because God, if you put me here, then you need to do for me. Let's skip over the believe. Let's even skip over the embodiment of what we've asked for, what we believe to know that in our asking has already been manifested. And let's just go and skip over that part of us allowing us to be in the vibrational frequency of the receiving, and let's just go to receive. And if I don't get it, it's God's fault, or it's Source's fault, or Source didn't mean that for me. Source usurped my right to ask, and that must be what we want, or that must be what God wants. Right? So then the questioner says, I would like to start with the definition of words that we have been using that possibly might it's a run-on sentence. Let me slow it down. Actually, the divine is saying slow my roll. I would like to start with definitions of words that we have been using that possibly we have not and possibly cannot understand totally. But since the first words that we used are intelligent, infinity, I would like for you to define each of these words and give the definition of their combination. Okay, that's the question. Give me the definition of intelligent, infinity. And he wants to break down intelligent and infinity. So Ra says, I am Ra. Your vibration of mind complex indicates a query. That means it indicates to us that you have a question. However, your vibrational sound complex indicates a preference. Please restate. You're asking a question, but it's based on your preference. So Ra says, ask it again. So the questioner says, would you define the word intelligent in the context of intelligent infinity? Ra says, I am Ra. We shall address the entire spectrum of this question before defining as requested. Are you ready, guys? Your language using vibrational sound complexes can be at best an approximation of that which is closer to an understanding, if you will, of the nature of the conscious thought. It means we vibrate a little bit differently with our English or our human translation, no matter what language it is, whether it's English or whether it's Japanese or Chinese. We vibrate from the form language. Therefore, when we hear the vibration of channeling, the English words may be different. You may find that you're using words that you never ever used in your entirety growing up. You never even studied them in college. You never heard them in your workplace. So then Then Ra goes on to say, perceptions are not the same as sound vibrations. They're not the same as sound vibration complexes, and the attempt to define will therefore be frustrating for you. Although we are happy to aid you within the limits of your sound vibration complexes. Now, he's not talking down to anybody. He's just saying the vibration that of how they use our words are different to them than they are to us. So Ross says, to define infinite apart from infinity is difficult. For these two vibrational complex or vibration complexes equal one concept. Period. It is much like attempting to divide your sound vibration concept of faith into two parts. But we shall attempt to aid you, however. The questioner says, it is not necessary to divide it. He's going, don't divide it then. The definition of intelligent infinity is sufficient. Could you give me the definition of that, please? So you have to forgive me. I scratched my nose, so I don't. Never mind. But if you see me keep going like that, it's not because I'm trying to dig a booger out. It's because I scratched my nose this morning. So Ra says, I am Ra. This is exponentially simpler and less confusing. There is unity. The unity is all that there is. This unity has a potential and is kinetic. The potential is intelligent infinity. That all is intelligent. Everything, everywhere is intelligent. Higher polarities are intelligence. Lower polarities are intelligent. Everything is energy and it's all intelligent. According to the divine. Right? According to the divine, according to the law of one, the law of everything that is and everything that is not, everything is one. Everything is wholeness. Everything is one. Happiness is one. Sadness is one. Left is one. Right is one. Up is one. Down is one. It's all one, right? Okay, let's keep going. This unity has a potential. The work has been called by us energy or intelligent energy. Energy or intelligent energy, no matter where you call it, that's what it is. Okay. Okay. Tapping this potential will yield work. So it's basically tapping into it will be what you call work on your side. Meditation, grounding, allowing yourself to express and experience your journey, letting it become the wholeness. The happiness of the journey, the sadness of the journey. Taking away the expectation of the journey and just living the journey. That's all oneness. That's all expression. That's all wholeness. And that's part of infinite. Intelligent. Right? It's a part of the universe. That the universe is infinite, and we always say that, infinite universe, but it's intelligence. And the intelligence isn't good or bad. It just is, right? So Ra goes on to say, the nature of this work is dependent upon the particular distortion of free will, which in turn is the nature of a particular intelligent energy of kinetic force of the potential of the unity or that which is. How much we distort it is how much, what we're going to see. What you see is what you get. Now, isn't that what most people say? I'll believe it when I see it. So what you see is what you get. If you haven't put the work or the embodiment into it, you're going to see what you put out, right? You're going to see what you put out, right? It's based, and distortion doesn't mean that it's so distorted that you can't figure it out. It just means it's how you're living life. Your distortion of how you're moving the energy is basically, you can move it where you can, as it comes out of distortion, it can come into full view, and all the pixels start to come into one wholeness of a picture. Or you can distort it, and you can distort it from the wholeness of a picture into fragments. It's interdependent on you. The universe is waiting on you, and you are the main ingredient. It's an intelligent universe. And you go, well, if it's intelligent, why didn't it just figure out that shit wasn't going to work for me? Because that's your job. You were given feelings, and you were given emotions, and you're giving all the polarities of higher polarities, middle polarities, lower polarities, and you get to sift and sort through them, and you get to figure it out. And the universe just says, I'm intelligent enough to say, your wish is my command. The universe is not going to bargain with you or plead with you. It's going to say, tell me what you want. I am energy, and I am here to serve. I'm intelligent energy, which means whatever you ask me, I can manifest for you. I can take out of the unknown and make it known to you. It's about you being present, right? So the questioner says, one more. The questioner says, I would like to expand a little on the concept of work. He says, in the Newton physics, the concept of work is the product of workforce plus distance. The questioner says, I'm assuming that the work of which you speak is a much broader term, including possibly work in consciousness, and then takes the period and says, am I correct? I am Ra. As we use this term in its universal and universal in application, intelligent energy has a rhythm or flow as of a giant heart beating, or a giant heart beginning with the central sun, as you would think and conceive of this. The presence of the flow inevitable as a tide of beingness without polarity, without affinity. Not without infinity, without finity, without being finite. The vast and silent of all beating outward. Take the comma. Outward again, Ross says, comma, forcing outward and inward until the focus are complete. Everything pulsates, everything vibrates, everything is like a pendulum. What goes forward must come back. It does it in vibrations, it does it in octaves. Take what resonates. The intelligence or the consciousness of foci, and that's FOCI, focuses are complete, right? They have reached a state where their, THEIR, shall we say, spiritually mature, and mass calls them forward, comma, inward, comma, inward, until all are coalesced. All are one. This is the rhythm of reality as you spoke. Back to you, Marcus. That's right, divine words of wisdom. It's going to give you exactly what you want. The universe isn't going to bargain with you. It's going to listen to you. It's going to express exactly what you want. And it's listening to vibration. It's listening to octave. It's listening to itself explain you to it, because you are itself in vibration. Back to you, Marcus.
Ashe.
Ashe.
You know, and the interesting part too is, you know, having these vessels. You know, these vessels are like conduits, or they're like, you know, the instrument, or, you know, the consciousness, or
Did you freeze? I think you froze.
to draw something into our life.
I think you had froze,
There's a
so
consideration.
it might not have. Yeah, it glitched. So you probably said some yummy stuff. Could you repeat it?
So basically, what I was saying was, you know, part of being in a third dimension is we have these vessels, and these vessels act as the conduits or the instruments for consciousness or for divine energy to be able to be expressed, to be experienced. And with that being said, there's just a remembrance and a reminder that as we are manifesting, as we are trying to attract, remember your magnetism. Remember the magnetism of how the human being operates through energy, vibration, and embodiment. So a key component to our manifestations, to attracting what it is into our life, is not only using the mental and using the mind of, you know, affirmations, reprogramming, and things of that nature, but also to remember that through this instrument right here, through this vibrational gateway, we want to try to embody the frequency, to embody the energies and the vibrations of what it is that we are wanting to attract, amplify, and magnify into our life. So just that reminder that part of being human is being multidimensional. So yes, there is the mental aspect of us. There is the mental body. But as human beings, we also have what we call the emotional body as well. And that's a whole nother component to our manifestations and our everyday living as well. Now we also have the physical body. And the physical body is the main instrument for being able to put forward action and to be able to have experiences, to be able to magnetize different information and energy into our space through our human journey. And with that being said, you then have also the light body or the energy body. And the energy body is your metaphysical body. It is your body that is the next layer from your physical. And that energy body is aligned with your electrical system. It is aligned with your light energy and consciousness that is able to flow through your body. And that's why we have what you call meridian centers. Meridian centers and chakras are acting as gateways or portals in the energy body or the light body that experience to be able to bring healing to the dimensions of the mind, emotions, all through these energy centers, which we call chakras. And, the more that we can just become aware of self, become aware of, where we are and who we are as human beings, then the more we can step into that realm of what you can call, self-mastery or sovereignty, is being willing to learn, being willing to understand who you truly are when it comes to your multidimensionalness. And it's different for all of us. It's different for each and every one of us, because each and every one of us is specifically designed with a unique blueprint. And that's why in this life and in this world, it's all on our own free will of what it is we're going to do with our free will, intentions, and energy. Nobody has the same blueprint or the same genes as another. So therefore, when we came into this world knowing and taking on the accountability of this avatar. And not just this avatar, but this whole entire multidimensional energy field or aura that makes up our human being. And I was actually teaching on Saturday over in Minnesota at a music and arts festival. And I was doing a holistic addiction support workshop. And I was helping integrate holistic knowledge of self regarding the chakras, energy cords, attachments.
Sorry, I had muted myself so he wouldn't hear paper moving. So give him a moment; he'll come back. Internet is sometimes kind of glitchy, and we've gotta wait and be patient. But can you hear me now? And Marcus is back. So yeah. So I had muted myself so you wouldn't hear me turning my pages. And then I started to say, oh, we're going to wait for him to come back. And then, oh, I'm muted. So Patrice from Divine Words of Wisdom said, you're muted on my YouTube. So on my YouTube page. So, so bear with us with these little glitches in and out. So what did we miss? You were talking about chakras. You were talking about the energy our energy core.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just I was just talking on how on Saturday I had went out to Minnesota to what's called Frequency One Fest, and it was a beautiful conscious music and arts festival. And on Saturday, I held a holistic addiction support workshop, and that workshop space was designed to integrate this type of knowledge of self on a holistic level with the awareness of how it ties into addiction and how it could also tie into the things that are at the root causes of our addictive behaviors. And it was really such a blessing and a really beautiful space to be able to, gift and share that in-depth holistic self-knowledge to give people empowerment and tools in their everyday life of, what is it that we can do, starting from within. What is it that I can do in my everyday life, my own power, to be able to really address, face, and heal, the roots and the core of why it is that I'm having addictive behaviors. And it was really beautiful. And the reason why I bring this up is because what you'll find is this holistic knowledge, or the knowledge of self, is very universal. So it can relate and it can tie into just about any aspect or focus when it comes to life. So for me, I've been taking the knowledge and the practices and making my own unique ways of serving it to different demographics and to different communities. And some examples of that is, number one, for like the military veterans, bringing this knowledge of self to the veterans so that they may be able to heal from their past, and they may be able to have that wisdom and knowledge to continue to strengthen their self and be there for others. And then you have, the rehabilitation and the addiction side of things. I'm starting to get more involved in rehab centers as well as facilities dealing with addiction. And then I did that teaching on Saturday. And then it could really help for any demographic that you can think of, because this type of knowledge of self applies to all human beings, as the awareness of what being a human being is and how the multidimensional functions of the human being operates. And with that, you're able to integrate it into basically any aspect of your life. And then you can take these practices, the knowledge, the wisdom, and apply it and implement it into these spaces that you're a part of, or that you are doing when you're at home by yourself. But if anybody ever needs guidance on, how to kind of start switching up their daily routines, start prioritizing their health and their well-being, seeing through a different vision and another pair of eyes of where can I kind of tweak my schedule a little bit to be able to integrate healthier things, or where can I maybe take a pause, do an energy clearing and meditation in the middle of my day, before the kids get home from school, or before I get up and get my kids ready for school. Yeah, these are wonderful things. And last thing I'll also say is just remember to be easy on yourself through this process. Be easy on yourself, and remember to have fun. Have fun with the exploring, because there's a vast, infinite possibility of how you want to embody your life and the things that you can do and enjoy. So just know, there's no right or wrong to what it is that you choose, or the way that you go about it, or even the pace that you move at. It's just all about how present can you be with yourself? How much can you allow yourself to be loved unconditionally, and to know that You're meant to go through shadows. You're meant to go through flaws as experiences. And, that gentle love, it really goes far. Back to you.
It does. It really goes far. It does. You are the only one of you. You're unique. You are authentic. Maybe people in certain parts of your life tell you you're nothing. You're lower than nothing. You'll never ever be anything. But if you take that step into the unknown, away from the finite information that they're feeding you, and if you just take that step into the unknown of knowing thyself, it's a very scary move to do, but definitely you can do it. And once you dive into yourself, I'm not going to say it gets easier, because the layers that you embark, what Ra is saying, right now you're separate. You've been told a good portion of your life, everything is separate from you. The God that you seek purity or grace from, or that you seek to be whole with, or that you even seek to be in heaven with, thinks of you differently than you should be thinking of yourself. And especially if you've been told that God thinks that you're unholy or unsanctified or a sinner, how can you think better of yourself then? Right? That's really a tough step to take, because the moment you step into the unknown, you feel like you're taking a step off and doing one of those cartoon moves where you take a step off and all of a sudden you're falling. Right? But it's okay to fall, because you go into the depths of you to know thyself, and then you start to unlayer. Right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not everything is one size fits all. You find out where you fit in the information that's being given to you. Okay? The questioner asks, the questioner says, then I think I have extracted an important point from this, in that in intelligent infinity, we have work without polarity, or a potential difference does not have to exist. Is this correct? Ra says, I am Ra. There is no difference, potential or kinetic, in unity. Let me read that to you again. Ra says, there is no difference, take the comma, potential or kinetic, take another comma, in unity, period. Unity is. It just is. It's the isness of the vastness of the cosmic universe. It just is, at the same time that it is not. And it's being that way because we get to put ourselves in the middle of it and tell the energy what we want. Right? Ra says the basic rhythm of intelligent infinity are totally without distortions of any kind. It just is. It flows in a vast form of consciousness until you decide what you want it to do or what you want it to be. It just is. Ross says the rhythms are clothed, C-L-O-T-H-E-D, clothed in mystery, for they are being itself. They are infinite possibility and they're being itself. They're just floating around intelligently being itself. What it knows itself to be, and formless. being itself, having infinite possibilities as its core. It's being itself as its nucleus, right? From this undistorted unity, however, appears a potential in relations to intelligent infinity. It's here to serve you. It's intelligent, and it's going to be as intelligent as you are. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as you potentially consider yourself to be, or not. Ross says, in this way, you may observe the term to be somewhat two-sided. One use of the term, that being as the undistorted unity, being without kinetic or potential side. The other application of this term, which is, or which we use undifferently for lack of other terms, in the sense of the vast potential tapped into the foci or focuses of energy. We call that infinite intelligence. And the divine says, you take whatever you want to take. If the only way that you can see, experience something is seeing it first, do that. It's your focal point. It's what you're focused on. It's what your energy is focused on. That's what infinite intelligence is going to create for you. You know that you ask for abundance, but you're focused vibrationally in lack. The divine, the infinite intelligence is going to give you more doorways to lack. It's not going to argue with you. It's not going to ask you which one do you really want. It's focused on that vibrational intelligence that it believes you have. Your intelligence is telling it that you want more lack because that's all you're focused on, but you want abundance. And that's what you're focused on. Right? Back to you, Marcus. Take what resonates, baby. You got to sit down with this. We're reading it to you, and the divine is giving us the light, love, and the learn, teach, and the teach, learn. But now you've got to take it in and see how it flows with you. We can't do that part for you. At least I know I can't. I used to try to do that. And I used to hold on. I used to dig the dirt and plant the seeds for people. And I would get disappointed and actually think myself of not being of service. Something was wrong with me because a lot of people were kicking up the dirt, knocking the seeds out the way, and then coming back saying, asking the exact same question. And then but what I learned when I went into meditation is you're your focal point. Yeah, how it sits with you is you're your action. When shit don't work, don't blame it on Marcus. Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on divine words of wisdom. Don't blame it on nature. Well, don't blame it on Soul Talk with Sandee. It's you have to go in and take this information, how it resonates with you, and how you are going to act or allow it to be activated in you to create you. Now back to you, Marcus.
Beautiful wisdom.
I feel
so I got a card for us.
I knew it.
I got a card for us. from the Magical Dimensions Oracle. And rightfully so, number 44, we have the card Wisdom. Look at that. Wisdom. I'll let you guys all take a look at that for a moment. So wisdom represents psychic, intuition, and truth. So I want to share a little bit of a difference between what knowledge is and what wisdom is. So knowledge is information. Knowledge is whole and balanced structuring, truth. Sometimes we correlate wisdom as knowledge, or we correlate knowledge as wisdom. Now, there's a reason why they are two different words, and they are two different things. So with knowledge being what we just said, what does that make wisdom? Wisdom is obtained through experience. It is obtained through embodiment of the knowledge, of the information. So yes, you could be very, very knowledgeable. Think about all the people that you know in your life that have read all these books, have gone to school, done all this studying, and they have all this knowledge that is just up here in their mind, up there in their head. But with all that knowledge, they haven't really practiced. They haven't actually integrated or utilized the information in their own experiences. And this is why we can see that some could be very knowledgeable, but not be very wise about their decisions, about their choices, about the things that they're allowing in their life. Although they continuously talk about, they continuously read and observe the knowledge that would support the healthier balance of what it is that they're going through. Now, wisdom is also tied into the mother, the divine feminine. Knowledge is tied into the divine masculine, father. So as we continue to learn, come into remembrance, accumulate information and knowledge, I just remind us to remember to integrate, to enlighten thyself upon experience of the knowledge within our being.
He paused. You paused
There
just
we
for a
go.
little bit. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Well, so, this is where grounding also comes in as well. The more that we're grounding ourselves, grounding ourselves through the knowledge, through the educating, through the studying, then the more we can help integrate and digest the process, the information that we are acquiring or obtaining. So, with that being said, I invite us to think about any knowledge that we have been studying, that we have came across, or that we've been kind of putting to the side to either practice, integrate, or experience and embody. If there's anything that you've kind of put to the side, maybe bypassed when it comes to a new routine, trying something that would help our health, or continuously reading about these universal laws, the power of the mind, and other things. I invite us to reflect. Is there anything within the knowledge that we have been obtaining that we maybe used a little bit more effort, a little bit more willpower to try to integrate, to try to experience, to try to implement into our daily life? And I'm sure there is for all of us, including my own self. There's a lot of knowledge out there, a lot of ways of empowerment. But are we trying them? Are we embodying them and experiencing them in order for that knowledge to become living wisdom? I kind of have always had this contrast comparison as well with knowledge and wisdom, of almost like knowledge being kind of dead in a way, where wisdom is living. And when I say dead, I don't mean like just means absolutely nothing, it doesn't have any power. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, knowledge is knowledge, but that knowledge doesn't really have life. It doesn't really have intentional energy behind it until it becomes through us, through our intentions, through our energy, through our focus and usage of that knowledge, which then turns it into what I like to say, the living, which is living wisdom. Once you bring that through your being and you feel it, you sense it, you experience it through your sacral, you're then able to really knowledge as wisdom. And I'm sure many of us can see how powerful the wisdom we obtain can be for each other on each other's walks. So last thing to think about is that power right there. How much it is worth it to take the time to integrate knowledge, to embody the knowledge as well, not just for our own personal self, but for what it is that we provide, share space, and bridge for others. When I say others, not just those living on this planet now, but the generational bloodlines that we can help heal by integrating knowledge into wisdom for our avatars, as well as pave way and set up beautiful gardens of Eden for the children in the generations to come. So yeah, just ponder upon that if you wish. Why would it be worth it for me to put effort into truly actually embodying, experiencing, or integrating the knowledge that I continue to acquire and allow it to become living wisdom? Because we can talk all day and all day and all day and all day about knowledge and words, but where will it truly get us if we don't act upon them or allow them to be integrated? Back to you.
Living wisdom. We drink living water every day. We talk about how water has memory, has recall. But living wisdom, now I get why the divine told me, you are wisdom, Sandee. Wisdom comes from the divine. It's wisdom is energy. It's a form that took place in us. The divine or almighty God or whatever we have for our higher being gave us everything we needed when we came here. Made no mistakes on us. We were created and crafted on purpose with a purpose and given the infinite possibility to find out what that is if we so choose. And the living wisdom that is within energy says, give them what they want when they want it. Everything is divine timing. If they think it and they ponder upon it, let them have it. That's what energy is. Living wisdom within you, tapped into you. Everything is centrally located, centered and swirling outwardly from counterclockwise. That's how your chakras spin, counterclockwise. That's how they grow and vibrate. That's you want to call it magic, the magic power, the blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what label we give it. You've got this energy that's, oh my God. The moment he said it, I just vibrated. Living wisdom. You can take it to any level you want to take it. You can express any way you want to express. That's what we're doing. Our higher being is expressing through us, these avatar, these beautiful, wonderful bodies. And it's expressing an experience with no judgment on it. We get to take it and take it a little bit further if we want to judge it or if we want to just discern it. We get to make those choices, free will choices. And then the cogs of the wheel keep turning because God, we've got generational energies walking with us, flying with us, moving with us, whatever you want to call it, whatever form they're taking on. They're being energy and they're serving us for being whatever we want. Being the vibration of my mother on my left-hand side and the vibration of my grandmother on my right-hand side, and being all my generational family members pulling up the rear and pushing forward in front of me. Living wisdom is what they're carrying. They're carrying it for me. They said, we had ours, but we got this for you. Anytime you want to tap in, I'm going to throw it to you. And then Ross says, it just is. Once you get rid of the fact that you're separate and that you, and instead of being separate, you are the wholeness of all that is and all that is not. You are the one true law of one. The questioner says, the questioner, I lost my place. Could you tell me what you meant by an apparent paradox? Right? I have to go up higher. The questioner says, let's take as an example the planet that we are on now, and tell me how much of the creation was created by the same logos that created the planet. Logos, that's a star is a logos. Another planet is a logos. The energy is a logos. So what we call the divine creator is a logos. Your higher being is a logos. So he's the questioner is still wondering where all this began at. He was wondering that. That's the first question he asked in the raw material in the book 1. So he starts the raw material book 2 with the same question. Ra is going to give the same answer. Ra says, this planetary logos is a strong creating approximately 250 billion of your star systems for its creation. Thus shall we say, laws and physical ways of this creation will remain, therefore constant. Nothing changes in what Ra said before. The questioner then asked, then what are you saying is the lenticular star system, which we call a galaxy, that we find ourselves in? This approximately 2 billion other suns of our own are created by a single logos? Is this correct? A single logos, a single star system, a single consciousness, a single set of energies that said, let me be that which you want me to be. And the divine said, let it be so. I want this. And this galaxy was created. The divine said, I want to see myself as this. And poof, here we are. Take what resonates. We're all taught a set of biblical language. And Ross said it started with the divine. The divine that is and is not decided to seek itself in form, and poof, here we are. You could call it the Big Bang. You can call it, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form. The language doesn't matter. The vibration matters. If you seek to go back, all the way back, and this is the study of it. If you seek to go, if you ask the divine, tell me, show me. I know that there's more, but you want the divine to show you within the words that you already have been taught. Then the divine is going to say, let it be so. You're seeking those words. I'm showing you something different. You can only see it within those words. Therefore, those words are only going to manifest for you. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. To grow and expand is maybe to learn an inkling of something different while holding on to something that you still believe it resonates in your life. It's okay, right? So Ross says, he says, this is correct. It's so, right? The questioner says, since there are many individualized portions of consciousness in this lenticular galaxy, did this logos then subdivide into more individualizations of consciousness to create these consciousness? Whoa, we're getting deep. Ra says, I am Ra. You are perceptive. This is also correct, although an apparent paradox. The divine is seeking to expand itself. In everything. That's what it came to do. Energy seeks to expand itself. To grow, to expand, to shift, to evolve. Right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not everything is going to resonate. Abbott Hoffman says, if you were the one from zero, the beginning, you would be alone, first and foremost. All that is what you would do to not be alone, and out of this comes unipolarity of a positive and love. 2033. Okay. He says in Hebrew, in the beginning was the breath, and the breath was God, and the breath was with God, and or logos. Here's a thought, because I put this up to the divine. I asked the divine, I said, in this consciousness called our star system, are there other wholenesses of the divine? I didn't ask about other people. I didn't ask about aliens. I didn't ask about extraterrestrials. I said, are there other wholenesses in the multiplicity of all that is? Now, for me, the divine said, yes. See, we're under the impression that there's only the one true divine, and then the divine said, yes, I am in wholeness of others. I'm not alone. Because my perception is, well, you were out in this galaxy all alone, creating all of this. You know, here comes the form part of me saying, did you have a mommy and a daddy? I had to bring that up because he kind of brought it back to me that I asked that question, and the divine said, yes, I am wholeness of a whole. And all I said was, there we go. Whoop, there it is. But it doesn't mean that has to be for everyone else, right? The questioner says, could you tell me what you mean by an apparent paradox? I am Ra. It would seem that if one logos creates the intelligent energy ways for a large system, there would not be the necessity or possibility of the further sub-logos differentiation. However, within limits, this is precisely the case, and it's precepts that this has been seen. So you got limits, let it be so. That's what you want. Let it be so. The divine is going to give you exactly what you want. The divine is going to give science exactly what it wants to see until it wants to see more. Back to you, Marcus. Hi, Peter.
I love all the comments that we're getting, all the participation.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of you.
Yeah. What I love is that the way that a lot of people are breaking down the Bible now, because they're asking an embodying question, and the divine is saying, okay, that's a good question, let me answer it for you, right? The Bible just isn't just parables. It's not just stories. There's vibrational energy behind what was written. Even the books that were omitted from the Bible, it was just people omitting what they didn't want in their vibration, right? Because we have all these higher beings that said, I want to come play, and I want to come play as control. Well, other higher beings says, well, if you play that game, you're going to need somebody to control. So I'll come play that game until I don't want to play anymore. And then the higher being said, oh, do we have to have a book of rules? Well, how do we control? And we have so many books, and so many, the book of Ra. We have all these different books. Where can we weave in some control? So not everything that is read is going to be for your highest and greatest good, but the only way that you're going to know that is if you sit with it at the seat of your soul and go in and ask your higher being, well, what did I see that this is saying this, I learned this a certain way. What did you come here to learn? You have me as an avatar. What did you come here to learn through me? And then for me, I had to be ready for the answer. Because possibly the answer might not be the nature of the book that I was reading. And that happened for me for the Bible, both the Old Testament and the New Testament. It rocked my boat. Well, it didn't rock my boat. It rocked other people's boat, because the questions that I was asking them really irritated them. But they were the only way that I was going to learn, teach, and teach, learn, according to Ra. It doesn't mean that it has to rock your boat. It doesn't mean that it has to change your path unless you want it to change your path. That's all Ra is saying. Ra says, I honor your free will. I honor your choices. That's why Ra did the sixth density complex known as Ra did not step foot on Earth again. Ra did it well over 11,000 years ago, and it was not received. It was distorted. But Ra says, we're going to wait. We're going to stay here. We're going to wait in this sixth density complex you call a spaceship, and we're going to wait until you're ready. And then when it was ready again, Ra decided, I'm going to channel. This way, I don't step foot into the density and make it hard for people who aren't ready for it. You take what resonates for you. Doesn't mean just because you open up and you're starting your spiritual journey doesn't mean you have to just stop going to church. It means that now you're in a place where you get to discern what is for your highest and greatest good. And you get to decide when that church environment is no longer for your highest and greatest good. Doesn't mean you have to stop living life. It just means that you decide when the logos don't work for you anymore, when the energy is shifting. when you're expanding, and know that you can't take other people with you through your expansion, through your growth, through your evolution. They may still be in your life, but what you can do is turn to them and go, I understand that you have an expression of life that you need to live it. Once you surrender yourself from making them follow you, then you can grow and expand the way you want to. And sometimes they will follow you by example, or you'll find that they'll ask you the most craziest question, and you'll look at them and you'll go, you were listening to me? Okay. And you could sit down and have that conversation. I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of kicked me to the curb when I was starting to ask questions about the Bible that just didn't vibrate with me, or about Adam and Eve, or the fact that you mean to tell me and this was me at 10 years old, telling me because a man was alone, God put that man to sleep and made and created a woman simply to keep that guy from being lonely. And then God, the same God that you want me to worship and believe that loves me, wants me to be beholding and have a man govern me and take advantage of me and tell me I'm no good unless I have a man in my life, right? This is what I learned in growing up in the Baptist background, that men held all the cards and told you what religion you're going to be. And at 10, I had questions about that. Internally, it wasn't working. The moment I started asking questions, I was not the black sheep of the family, because I had a great mom who allowed me to ask questions. But a lot of people said she's a troublemaker, because they're telling you the more you ask questions and rub them the wrong way, you must be the troublemaker. But are you a troublemaker? Are you an infinite creator? Back to you, Marcus.
That's a wonderful place to lead off, because Saturday, when I was holding the holistic addiction workshop, one of the main things that stood out to people and that people were really listening to when I spoke was my perspective of how I view labels and identifications. And a lot of times, often what we find kind of on autopilot in a lot of these rooms like AA and NA and other places is the very strong, and when I say strong, I mean like 100% definite, finite identities and labels that we have kind of just been autopiloting on when it comes to these different rooms. As in, word for word stating, I am a addict. I am an addict and always will be an addict. These type of statements never resonated.
I am yeah. I am.
There we go.
I am, and the one thing is, every time I hear somebody who says they go to AA meetings and they have to sit up and repeat, I am an alcoholic. I will always be an alcoholic. That means that they're telling you to tell yourself that you can never change. It makes me cry. That they will always be in that story. They will always be at that meeting. Someone has to control enough, they know enough to control these people when they come in, and all they want to do is heal. And the first thing they have them stand up and say, I'm sick. I'm an alcoholic. I'm broken. And I'll always be an alcoholic. There'll never be a time where I'll ever be able to be around people who enjoy themselves and drink, because I have to be outside. Outside. It hurts when I think about that. It hurts how many stories we have been holding on to our whole life. And all of us have. If we lived life, we have been holding on to some. It may not be as dramatic as being sexually abused as a child, or sexually abused as a woman in the household, or a wife abused as, in any type of form. There's so many things that are so quiet. And they come from a lifetime of being told a story. Handed down from generation to generation. And that's okay. I do understand that the generational story that's embedded in DNAs are so that our higher beings come to take a journey. But we get to tell other people, while we're having our journey, some of us that are controlling, that they'll, that's one journey that you're not out of. Our words are what are considered spells. We speak them over ourselves all the time. We need to find out where those words come from. I'm sorry I interrupted. I had the feeling.
Oh, no worries. We just build off of each other. But yeah, that's something that has very much not resonated with me being in those rooms in the past, is just really solely identifying as a label like that. Because, back to what you were saying at the end, before you passed it over to me and I got started about this, was, do you want to see yourself as, an adjective or a verb or something that's a very, 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 very temporary illusion of already an illusion that will then attach you to very much realities of, suffering and all these other things that we actually ultimately don't have to take on. And subtly, this does have to do with our perspective and the way that we're choosing to allow our paradigm to be. So you have the choice every day. You have the choice every moment of how it is that you want to view yourself in relation to the world. And that could be, I am an addict and always will be an addict. Or it could be, I am a spiritual being. I am a conscious being. I am a being of the Creator. I am the I am present. Many different ways you can go about wording it. that is experiencing the struggle of alcohol, or is experiencing addictive behaviors and addictive patterns. It's a big difference. It really is. And the way that we're choosing our perception to be of ourself in relation to the world, it's going to dictate and it's going to formulate with the universe how it is that we want to continue to attract experiences, as well as put out the projections through ourselves into the world. So like, even with that, you can also relate this to anything in your life. It could be the perception of your relationship to your job. It could be the relationship you have with your loved ones, and most deeply with your own self. Do you see yourself just as Marcus? Do you see yourself just as this outside physical flesh body that's gonna evaporate one day soon? Or are you choosing to allow yourself to be the living spirit that is experiencing through all and always is experiencing? So just keep in mind, and this is where it kind of requires a little bit of that slowdown, that turtle medicine, pacing ourselves each moment, really being present with the thoughts that are coming through us, being present with emotions that we need to sit with or express, and really tapping in, tuning in with those beautiful micro beings that are all over our body, that make up our physical body and are living right now, conducting, expressing, exchanging information with you in this very moment. You can feel it, you can tune in, you can tap in if you wish. But it's all here. Everything in existence is all here. But it's up to you, with having this vessel, on what it is that you want to allow yourself to become aware of. The information, the energy behind something that makes it what it is. Really up to you. And you can see things as whatever it is on the surface, or an image, or you can choose. You can choose to allow yourself to feel deeper within the layers of the information and the energy behind what made that logos, or what made that image that you're experiencing, and why it's reflecting back to you from within yourself. So that's where wisdom comes in. Again, our card of this session, wisdom. Through the embodiment of the knowledge, through the integrating of information, we're then able to have that basically flowing through us, have that activated, that information, that experience of wisdom naturally comes through us. The more that we integrate knowledge, the more we integrate the knowledge, the less we need to look outside of ourselves for the knowledge.
Yes.
Because we have integrated it into our system. The human being is like a system that you program. And then the more that you program it to the knowledge that you're trying to embody and you're trying to embrace more of in your life, then the more that living wisdom, as we call it, is able to seep through your being and seep through your pores in every natural moment of existence, without you even needing to be aware of it any longer or need to put focus on it, because you have integrated the knowledge so well and so much into your being that it's just natural wisdom now. And that natural wisdom is unlocked and it is flowing through you as what we call intuition, which is what I call being in tune with what is. Intuition. In tune with what is. When we clear out our energy centers, clear out our light body, we have our electrical system, and we have that chi flowing through us. That is more access to that intuitive nature, to that intuition, that super conscious flow that is able to just naturally come through us as a current of electric and light energy. That is one way of how we can allow ourselves to be naturally guided from within through our spiritual energy and be able to have that very instant snap of the finger, quantum-like intuitive nature where you have the answers as soon as you put out to the universe that you're thinking about it. And then next thing you know, you have the whole download of how that plan's going to go. This can happen more quickly and efficiently for you, the more that you continue to clear out your energy and to allow these things that are causing resistance from being and being able to be in tune with our inner wisdom. Ooh-wee.
Yummy. Man. Yummy. Delicious. Simply delicious.
Back to you.
Living food for the soul. Right? Wisdom. Living food for the soul. So before we leave, these are some questions that I'm working on in one of my workshops on that I'm working on, and it's coming soon. What is going on inside me? I know you hear everybody else say that, but embodying that question when you sit at the seat of your soul, when you actually embody the fact that you're going to sit at the seat of the divine being that inhabits that form body and the conscious mind. When you actually say, what is going on inside me? Well, I know that my body, digests food, and I see things, I see the outside world. But when you ascend beyond your limitations, when you take that step into the unknown and have that drop off point, what are you going to do when you get there? What are you going to ask? Asking yourself embodying questions is action. It's living wisdom and living action. How about the question, what do I need or want? You know that all your needs are met. You know that they were met as when you came in to this dualistic vibration. You know that the divine put it all in there. But in order to go find it, you've got to ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? Because what's happening is, if you don't know and you're randomly having these unconscious thoughts about some type of need or some type of want that might possibly not be for your highest and greatest good, guess what the energy is going to say? The energy is going to say, your wish is my command. Life is not randomly doing anything to you. It's doing it because of you. It's living wisdom in action. Yes, that's right. The universe is in action. It's working quantumly with you. It's in collaboration with you, right? The next question, what do you need to address within you? Sometimes it's not about what you want or what you need. It's about what has already been put in there that you've got so layered up that you're spending so much time of your life trying to keep from being activated or triggered by all the stuff that you've held in that you didn't want to feel or didn't want to have emotion about, that people have told you you can't do this and you can't do that. So you layered it up. You put bubble wrap all on it and hoping that the little bubbles don't start popping in the wrap. So you've got to ask yourself, what do I need to address in me? That's a deep dive. That's ascending to a new platform of who you truly are, that what you need to address and what you need to get rid of, surrender or not. Guess what? It's free will. You can pack on some more. Matter of fact, you're going to go, oh, Sandra just reminded me I need to put another layer of bubble wrap on there. Okay. Universe says so be it. The bubble wrap is there. You're focused on not letting that get agitated or irritated or activated or triggered. Your wish is my command. We're going to open a new door or bring a new person into your life so that you get triggered. Thank you very much. Right? Next question. How deep are the untouched messages in me? How deep are they? Not just untouched by information that you've pressed down, but information that the divine has been trying to give you. That your soul has been trying to help direct you. You know, your soul can help give you direction into your unconscious, but only you can choose to take it or not. But your soul, your higher being, can't go over your free will. Isn't that something? It honors your free will. So if you free will want to be a victim for the rest of your life, the divine and your soul say, let it be so. And the universe, that is that energy that's ready to serve you, it's going to give you more doors to step in where you're a victim. Or where you want to be a victim in lack mentality, it's going to give that to you. Nothing random. Well, you can believe whatever you want because the divine says, let it be so. If you believe things are randomly happen to you, go ahead. If you believe that you don't have any choice in the changing, go ahead. The universe will say, let it be so. It's here to serve you. It's energy. Every door that you walk to is energy. It's here to serve you. Every window that you climb through, it's energy. It's here to serve you. Right? What do you need to reach them? You have to decide what you need. What your tools are that you need to go inside you. Do you need to surrender? Do you need to transform something? Well, in order to transform or alchemate, you have to know what needs to be transformed. You have to actually acknowledge it. Do you need to regenerate, rejuvenate, replenish? You have to know what your needs are, what your desires are, what your wants are. Right? And then how will I release them or allow them to be removed? The universe is not going to do it for you. It's already told you it has no gray areas. It's working and in collaboration and in working for your highest and greatest good of yourself. But it's you that has to be put at the forefront that it's going to listen to. It's going to listen to the vibration of your DNA. It's going to listen to the vibration of every cell in your body, whatever those cells are telling. Whatever you're telling the cells and whatever the cells are vibrating to the energy that the energy wants to become for you. Ross says, I just give you the information. What you do with it is on you. If you choose to sit in conflict of it or argue it, so be it. Ross said, I did my point. I put the seed in your hand. You get to put it, you get to plant it in the soil. You get to acknowledge that you need some water, some, sunlight, so whatnot. And that's all vibration. You get to move to the next vibration of who's going to help you do that. But Ross says, and understand this. This book, there's 5 books. We couldn't even finish one before I got 2. And now we're integrating 1 and 2. Imagine what happens when we're on 3. What more we're going to learn. But I got to go now. I got to go live some more life. Create some more stuff. I got to go and sit at the seat of my soul and say, what's next? Right? Or what do I want to opt out? I got to go assess my playground. Anybody remember that playground when they were a kid? How big it looked, how vast it looked. And then when you walked back on it when you were an adult, you kind of went, ooh, everything's kind of small. That's not the playground that we're living in. It doesn't get smaller as you expand. Universe is expanding exponentially. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We'll be back on Wednesday. Oh, yes, Wednesday. You only got a day to rest before we deep dive again. Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? Am I correct?
That's
sir?
right.
All right.
Yep.
10 a.m. Pacific
Thank you guys for
Standard
joining.
Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go deep dive some more. Come back. We love to have you. Episode
And thank you to all of you. Go ahead.
Hello.
I was letting you finish.
I'm finished.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you to all of you that have participated. Thank you to all of you that have been present in these spaces, on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you for the subscribers, all the likes, and just all the beautiful expressions that you guys have shared just very transparently and vulnerably with us throughout this series. And like Sandee said, we'll be back on Wednesday, coming up in 2 days, at our usual time at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, as we will be exploring episode 17 of the raw material, Law of One. And just a reminder for everybody out there, coming up this Saturday on the 3rd, I will be hosting a free donation-based heart chakra empowerment workshop that will be online. And you guys can find the information by direct messaging me, or you guys can find it throughout my pages on social media, or you can go directly sign up at sacredlight33.as.me and join us this Saturday at 3:33 p.m. Eastern for a heart chakra workshop. And my last reminder also is, coming up from August 6th to the 8th, I will be hosting a 3-day holistic healing Sedona retreat for Lionsgate. So if you're someone that is aware of the Lionsgate portal, as well as aware of Sedona's portal, and you really enjoy connecting with Star Family, as well as grid working and things of that nature, there will be many beautiful activities and conscious community connection that will be taking place, where we'll be integrating not only the Lionsgate energies, but also the Sedona Gateway portal as well, with our healing process and balancing for ourselves and the collective. So that's also available for you guys. It's a 3-day retreat. You can pay for 1 day, 2 day, or 3 days. You guys reach out to me for any information. And Sandee, what do you got coming up?
I've got tonight, I've got Oracle and Light Language reading tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's with Oracle cards, it's with Light Language. And what makes it different is I ask you to have a divine, to go in and sit at the seat of your soul and ask a divine question to your higher being. And then we tap into it together. I'm just a vessel. So that's Oracle and Light Language reading at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be for approximately an hour. I do about 10 people's request. And so that's usually every Monday evening. On Wednesday, I do star meditation in the evening, 5:30 p.m. It usually goes for about an hour. It depends on how many come in. And that's also a meditation with Light Language. And you come in and you bring you. It's not about you telling anybody else why you're there. It's about surrender. It's about transformation. It's about allowing. It's about acclamation. It's about assimilating. Coming in and being you at the center core of you, and you working with the energy of light language healing. The divine knows what you need. You have to come in with the intention. That's what star meditation is all about. S, surrender. T, transformation. A, allowing or alchemizing. And R, resolve. Restoring. The divine is everywhere that you are and everywhere that you are not. The divine is always there. So when you come into the room, know that the divine is with you. Know that you are not separate. Welcome to all. Star Meditations with Sandra. It's a light language meditation every Wednesday at 5:30. 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right? And then, of course, we do my podcast on Friday. All right.
What is that last one?
Which one? Star Meditations or my Soul Conversations with Sandra, the podcast, every Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And depending on where our guest is sailing from, either it'll be Central Time, will be 1:30, Eastern Standard Time will be 2:30. So, and
Beautiful.
if you want to be a guest, DM me. And something new for you. Every Saturday, Soul Talk with Sandee, or Sandee M, as I call myself. What makes it different from Soul Awakening is we talk about our gifts. our skills, our talents, whether we had them before we found out that we were being spiritually opened up, and how we're using them in our everyday life, how we're using them to serve our communities. Yes, it's new, and it will be streaming. It is my intent for it to stream live on Instagram and YouTube, but it will officially be streaming on YouTube only. Growth and expansion. Got a lot of things going on. Growth and expansion. Wisdom and like this guy has said, living wisdom. It can't do anything but expand. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sticking with us for this, 2 hours and 10 minutes? Woo! Loving it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
With that being said, also I just remembered if you guys are interested in the Heart Chakra workshop or the Sedona retreat, you can actually find the information and the registering in the link in my bio for everybody out there. But everybody have a blessed and a beautiful day. May we remember the wholeness that we are and that is all around us. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Wholeness and balance, love.
Peace. One love. Love, one.